And we are live. Welcome, everyone. My name is Niki Lopez of Niki Lopez Creative, and you're watching The Circle, where I talk to artists, activists, social entrepreneurs, people doing great things in the world today. And today I have two very special guests and friends. We have Jane Kreinberg and Trish Delish Stypka joining us. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so June is the month of Pride. Happy Pride! So we want to love that both of you are creative and just happy to have you on the channel and sharing with the audience. And so as we get started, we are live on a couple of places. We're live on Facebook. We're live under the group The Circle. We're also live under Niki Lopez Creative. We're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And then afterwards, this will be found on any of your favorite podcasts. So as we're jumping in, I wanted to start, since you all are a couple, how and when did you meet?
Okay, well, we met in Chicago in 1974. Yes, 47 years ago. We actually met making art. We started out, we were in the Women's Graphics Collective. So that was a group of women, feminist and lesbian women, making feminist and lesbian posters via a process called silk screening. We have a slideshow of some of the posters.
Okay.
But you wanted to share.
Okay, well, you could keep talking.
Yeah, so as I said, we met making the posters in the collective, and I wanted to talk a little about the collective process, because back then we were women who were trying to find an alternative to the patriarchy. We were all feminist, and some were lesbians, some were straight women. We were interested in a process that was not like patriarchal processing. So we used a collective decision-making process in which we would, whenever decisions needed to be made, what kind of new poster are we going to do, what colors are we going to use, how is it going to go, the decisions were made in a collaborative fashion. We did not, there's a picture of the collective, and we did not decide by a majority vote, but we decided by collaboration. All of the decisions were made that way. This is one of our favorites, of course.
It's beautiful.
Some of them are just, more even labor rights. But yeah.
Yes, we had a coalition with, a lot of different groups, political groups. And this is the Chicago Maternity Center that did home births, and they tried to put them out of business because they were competition. There are a lot of different issues going on, and some of them, unfortunately, are still issues. Violence against women. But a lot of them were very uplifting, and some spirituality ones.
Yeah, that one's about women's spirituality.
So, a lot of the same issues we're dealing with now. This is one of our catalogs. We did mostly a mail order business. So anyhow, that's just an example of some of the art that we did back then.
When we first got together.
Yeah. So
that's beautiful. That's great. And we just have a couple of, let me see, we have a couple of people here. We have Anthony in the circle saying, hey, y'all, 3 very special artists. Yes, absolutely. And Jasmine Lewis, love you, Trish and Jane.
Love you, Jazz.
Back at you, Jazz.
Yeah. So I didn't even realize, I think I've seen some of the posters, but I didn't realize that you were doing art so way back when. That's and doing it together. That's amazing.
That's where we met. Yeah.
Yeah, we met doing art, so we already had that in common. So it's, been with us through the years.
And Jane, I know you're artist, photographer, and percussionist. I don't know if you have some of your work. I want to talk about it, but I wanted to know, like, what are some of the things that you want people to feel when they see your work or get from your work when they see it?
Well, my goal
Just
is
show your slideshow.
yeah, I will. I'll put it on.
Okay.
Well, my goal as an artist is partly to just see the world in new ways, see the beauty of the world, reflections, light, color, how that affects everything. I also want my work to be thought provoking, and I also would like people to feel empowered by the strong images of women that I have in a lot of my work. So I'd like to show some of that. It's really in no particular order. Um, Let me just get this up here 1 second. And okay, I do a lot of nature photography,
Mm.
and see some of that. I just like to, it's glasses, but you look at it a certain way, and it's really pretty interesting.
Hmm.
I do a lot of flowers. This is a mandala that I did that just won an award at Broward Art Guild. So you're going to see, images of women. Oh, this one I call Georgia on My Mind for obvious reasons. And, just whatever catches my eye. These are our nieces at their wedding. Very popular photo. This is at Miami Gay Pride a few years ago. And I've been experimenting more with different effects, getting into photography more as a fine art form. This is from our travels to Africa. So I think that one speaks for itself.
Yeah.
This is flowers dancing. And as I said, empowering images of women is big in my list. Okay, I think that's the beginning.
That's the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's just a small smattering of some of the work I've been doing.
Awesome. And we have a couple more comments. We have Angels. Oh, he's giving some heart. They're giving some heart signs. And there's someone in one of the groups. I'm not sure. So if you're in a Facebook group, the name doesn't come up. So if you put your name to it, but it says, "Hi, ladies. Nice to see everyone. It's been a minute." And someone else in a Facebook group says, "Nice work."
Thank you.
And Jane, I know you're also a musician. Can you talk a little bit about, the type of musician and, and highlights about you as a musician?
Okay, well, I actually started, I was in an all-girl rock band in junior high and high school. I guess I started there playing guitar. We actually played at the New York World's Fair in 1965. So that was actually kind of a highlight from many years ago. After moving to Chicago, getting involved in the lesbian feminist community, I played in a lot of bands. A lot of them were lesbian-oriented bands, but not all of them. We played a lot of different kinds of music, rock, blues, reggae, R&B. That's when I switched over to playing drums and percussion, which I've been playing since then. I'd say, some of the highlights were I was very involved in the women's music scene when it first came out in the 70s. And I was fortunate to play with some of the icons of women's music. I actually played on the album by Maxine Feldman called Closet Sale. I did all the drums and percussion on that album. And the song Amazon, which comes from that album, became the welcoming song at Michigan Women's Music Festival. And the opening night every year for 35 years, they played that song. So I was very proud to have done all the drumming on the recording for that. And I also played with her at Michigan a number of times. And I also played with Kay Gardner and Meg Christian at National Women's Music Festival, and I played with Kay a number of times. I played with Holly Near, June and Jean Millington. So, you know, that was really wonderful to collaborate with such amazing women.
And we have a comment from Facebook. Susie True, I was in the all girl rock band with Jane as well.
Oh, that's my sister. Hey, Sue. Yes, the that rock band was me and my sister, and then our two friends who were also sisters. So
Wow.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So my sister's joining us from Guatemala, by the way.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And we have Gerard. He's saying circle virgins. Hey, ladies.
Hey, Gerard.
Um, Angel is asking, is there a correlation between your music and photography? Good question.
Interesting. Well, I mean, they're both, one is visual arts and one is performing arts, but I don't know. I get a lot of pleasure and creativity out of both. I've been through different phases as far as uh, when I was into music. I was doing photography in college and then the Women's Graphics Collective. And then I sort of stopped doing photography for a while and concentrated more on music. I don't know. It just sort of happened that way. It's about opportunities, really, opportunities to play with other people that you click with.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah.
Susie's saying, "Oh, you met in January." Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
January. Yeah. Angel is saying, "Which do you enjoy most?" That's a hard one.
That is a hard one.
Yeah.
I mean, listening to music, music itself is a huge part of my life and always has been. Um, Whether I'm playing it or listening to it. Um, and I love to hear live music. Um, I don't know.
But you love art too. You
I
love
love it.
producing
Yeah,
art. You love looking at art too.
yeah,
We go to art shows all the time to look at
yeah.
other people's art too.
hmm I don't think I can really say. It's like which is your favorite child?
Yeah, exactly. We have Karen. Hi, Jane. Are you still jamming, playing reggae?
Um, when I can, when I have somebody to play with, yes.
And then we have someone from a Facebook group. What's your favorite art piece and why? Oh, Cynthia Hayes.
Favorite art.
Oh,
Ah.
that's a
we
really
have
hard. I don't know if I really have a favorite one. I have favorite artists.
Name your favorite artist.
Well, I love Georgia O'Keeffe. I love Van Gogh, Matisse. Um, those might be the top ones.
Okay. And Trish, at some point you opened a chiropractor office. How did you get from like you all were doing art, doing the posters, and then you had the chiropractor office and then back into the art?
Yeah, well, I think there's sort of always been some art or art comes through. Like, yeah, we met doing art. Then I decided to become a healer, went to chiropractic college, became a chiropractor. While I had the chiropractic practice, I also started working in clay. So on the side, I was doing some clay work during the chiropractic practice. And then when we retired from the chiropractic business, because Jane worked in the office with me, when we retired from that, we went on the road traveling full time in a motorhome. And while we were doing that, I learned about rug hooking and took up rug hooking as a new art form. And so I sort of, art came before chiropractic, during chiropractic, and has even blossomed more since chiropractic. Since I took up rug hooking after, and then I also um, started working in metal in 2010 after we moved here. So.
Okay. And do we have some of your work as well?
We do, yes. We're going to show that talking about the Trish Delish art
Okay. Well,
with
yeah.
my
What's
art
the
handle. So we're going to start with something that's really high on my Delish list
okay?
because when I started doing art here in Florida, um, I moved into what I would say more gynocentric, female body oriented art, a lot of it.
Hmm.
And this first image that's going to be up is something that will, of course, be clear about that. And I began to get a little bit of a reputation about doing, art that shows women's body parts. So when I was looking for a handle for Instagram, it just seemed like, well, this is Trish's Delish Art, and so that's how I became Trish Delish Art. And some of the pieces, are not so sexual and explicit like that one, but this one is called Bound, and those are two female figures that are bound. Ancient Breast Goddess,
Mm.
just another piece of breast silhouettes.
Some metal work.
Piece of metal that's not specifically sexual, but just this is called Fractured Society. These are my frog hats. This is called Hot Wired Mama. I don't remember the name of that piece, but you can tell what it's supposed to look like. This one is called Lips. And this is the Mermaid of the Desert. That's a rug piece.
Mm.
That's another metal piece, Mermaid Blossom. And this is an orchid, also out of metal. This is mixed media, metal, and some pieces actually from my mother. And this is primitive mask out of clay. This is a piece from my sister Linda. I was hoping she'd be on. And this is another metal piece I made. That's clay. And another piece out of clay. You'll see the back side in a minute. It's a vase kind of piece.
Mm-hmm.
And that's called Waterfalls, also metal. And we're back to the beginning.
And so, how about you? Do you have a favorite piece or with your work?
Of mine?
Yeah, or
Probably,
other artists as well.
well, probably one of my most favorite pieces of mine would be Broken But Not Defeated, the first one that started the show. Because that's a piece that I made out of clay and it fell off the wall and broke. And I was pretty heartbroken when that first happened. But then I learned that I could glue the pieces back together and put India ink in there, and it looks like it happened on purpose. So I did that, but then I had to hit it in the forehead because it didn't have enough cracks in it. And I just thought that Broken But Not Defeated was a great name for it after all of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool when art takes a different, unexpected turn, but you still have a beautiful piece, from it.
Yeah, that piece certainly fits that description.
And who's the friend that you have on your shoulder?
Oh, this is little Miss JJ Bird. She likes to join us when we do these kinds of things, and sometimes she likes a lot of attention. Right now, she's busy grooming herself. I can't wear an earring in this ear because if I do, she thinks I'm hanging a bird toy off my ear and proceeds to chew on it. So that's why I have one earring and nothing on the other side. Yes, little one.
We have another question from Angel. We have what part of the brain do you guys tap into when creating? What realm are you pulling these masterpieces from?
I don't know, just where it comes from.
I don't know. It's magic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we do transcendental meditation, and I feel like since we've been doing it, I think it's about 9 years now. I feel like I've gotten more creative, and things just come to me sometimes.
Oh yeah, sometimes during the meditation, I'll just have an idea about either a piece I was working on or an idea for a new piece or something. Come out of the meditation, and go, oh, great idea. Let me make some notes about what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That helps with that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just serendipitous, like with the photography. I'll be walking down the street, and all of a sudden I see something, you know.
She always has a camera, although now with the phones today, she can
Yeah,
take good pictures on her phone,
yeah, but I
but
still prefer the camera.
she still
Yeah.
prefers the camera.
But again, it's all in head. It's not the camera that you use; it's your brain and how you see things and try to see things from different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know you all have been involved with a lot of things within the community over the years. So I wanted to get like, what does community mean to you, and what led you to get involved with the different organizations that you've been involved with over the years?
Well, community act for us actually goes back many years. Like, well, I mean, even in college, well, as hippies, there was a community in that there were a lot of like-minded people, and you could talk to people and feel like you knew them forever. And then in when we were in Chicago in the '70s, at the height of the lesbian feminist movement, the sense of community there was really, really strong and really empowering. There were so many groups and different things you could do, and so we really got a sense of community from back then.
And I wanted to add about the Michigan Women's Music Festival because that was a space that was created like in 1975, so right after we got together, where the women consciously came together to make a women's community at this music festival, and they kept it going for many, many years. 40 into 40-ish
Yeah.
something, yeah. And it was always so amazing to go there and be in this community of women where there were no men. It was totally no patriarchy
And very safe.
and very safe. You could do what you want,
Yeah.
be what you want.
So our feelings about community, go back to that point. So after we moved here in 2009, we really wanted to get involved in the community, and we feel like, we've been lucky in our lives and fortunate, and we really wanted to give back, volunteer for things. So
We volunteered for a lot of different groups.
yeah.
Did you want to name some of those?
we could talk about some of the groups. Yeah, well, shortly after we moved here, we got involved with SunServe, and we volunteered in the Making It Better program, which was where we would go into the Gay Straight Alliance clubs in the different high schools in Broward County and talk to the kids, be role models, get them to see that, it does get better. You can, be LGBT and make it through high school and have, a good, satisfying life. We talked to them about a lot of different things. So that was very fulfilling to do. And then we got involved with other organizations, well, arts organizations, Arts United, which is an LGBT and allies arts organization that puts on a lot of shows. I was on the board for 6 years. I was president for a couple of years. Trish was on the board too. And Niki, remember, we produced the We Rise Poetry Slam as one of our programs, which was extremely successful. It was basically, a Black lesbian poetry slam, and so that was really great. We're trying to be more inclusive, bring more women, more people of color into the organization. And you want to talk about when?
Well, yeah, we were both on the board of Women in Network. I was president for a while, and that's a group that was started for lesbians specifically in this area, but everyone has always been welcome. We used to have some men that were called les bros because they were friendly supporters of Women in Network. So, and
We did a lot of the programming for
We
them.
did a
Yeah.
lot of programming there.
Yeah.
Jane brought June Millington here to produce a show. Do that, yeah. So
So, I guess those were the main organizations. You know, we're still um, very supportive of a lot of these organizations. We're just not on the boards right now.
Hmm. Oh, we have Scott Strawbridge. Hi, Nikki and all. Hello, hello, Scott.
Uh,
hi, Scott. Yeah.
Have you ever experienced any challenges that you had to overcome because you were a female artist or a lesbian artist?
Well, the main challenge is working in the patriarchal system again. We have to keep coming back to that because the art world is very male oriented. Um, women artists aren't as welcome, and um, that's an issue. And Jane wanted to.
oh yeah, I wanted to share. There's a group called Gorilla Girls. I don't know. This is probably going to be backwards. Oh, it's not backwards. Okay, it's like your book. They've been going for many years. Have you heard of them, Nikki? They
Yeah,
uh,
I've seen they did something during Basel a few years ago.
uh, they
Yeah.
do these actions and they billboards and different things just about that very subject about women discrimination in the art world. So, like they have this one. It's do women have to be naked to get into the Met Museum? Less than 5% of the artists in the modern art sections are women, but 85% of the nudes are female. So, you know, they do these different actions, which are really cool. So, but there's a lot of statistics in here about,
The
the
discrimination.
discrimination
Yeah,
and how bad it is. And it hasn't really changed much over the years, unfortunately.
So it's sad, but true.
Yeah.
So,
What is a Celesbian?
well, it's a contraction of celebrity lesbian.
Yes.
I don't remember where it started, but it was kind of as a joke. People started calling us Celesbians because we were so active and out places, and so we'd get our picture taken, and it would be in the paper. You know, we were at this event or that event, and it was. So we just sort of thought it would be funny to put that in there.
Yeah. Well, it's very befitting. When I started, I was like, "Hmm, oh, it makes sense." Angel has another question. Do you have any art piece that echoes or mirrors the time that we are in?
Now,
Well, your fractured society.
Fractured Society I created when Trump became president. Was it in the slideshow?
Yeah. Do you want me to bring it up again?
Sure.
bring it up quick?
Okay, we'll keep talking.
Well, it was an art piece that I made. Again, serendipitously, it was profiles of faces. There it is.
Okay, well, I have to bring it up on there.
Okay, and it broke. That was before Trump became president, and the broken pieces were sitting around in my work area for a while. And when Trump became president, I just felt like our society had become fractured, and I glued the broken pieces to the black backing there to indicate our fractured society. So that goes back a few years, but we're still pretty fractured,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Others you can think of? Or?
Of mine? Well, showing women's body parts. Is that, I don't know.
Yeah. So, you all, every time most places that I go, I see you, all these different places. And I'm wondering, where do you find the energy to attend all these events and activities that you all do as a norm?
Well, we don't do as many as we used to. Unfortunately, we just have slowed down some. We do have to pace ourselves because we do like to do stuff, but we have to pick and choose more. But, we do have self-care things that we do in order to try to stay healthy.
Yes. So we, just to give you a general idea of how we run our days most of the time. First thing we do when we get up in the morning is we do some yoga asanas, about 15 minutes. Then we do our meditation, our morning meditation. We do transcendental meditation. So the yoga that we do was designed by Maharishi to complement the transcendental meditation. Then after that, we have a breakfast, which we make 99% of our meals all fresh up at at the time of the meal. We don't eat a lot of leftovers. We do eat out, so sometimes eat other people's food, but when we're eating at home, it's always fresh made, organic food. And we do a second meditation later in the afternoon. And during the day we have our regular activities, and
We
but we
exercise 6 days a
exercise
week.
6 days a week, and I still try to do 5 flights of stairs every day that I can because we live on the 6th floor of a building where the elevator goes out from time to time. So I like to keep myself in good shape to be able to walk the stairs as needed. Jane does them with me a lot of the time.
Yeah. So, we work hard at, trying to stay healthy so that we can go out and do a lot of events.
Yeah.
Someone said, I see them at a lot of events also. Good question. Yeah.
Our ages? We can say our ages
Well-
if you want.
Well, I'm 71 and Trish is 73, so
And we'll be turning a year older soon.
in a couple months, yeah. So,
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Definitely 70s goals.
Yeah.
What is something that you feel helped keep your relationship strong after all these years?
you were going to say something.
Well, we're the most important thing is compromise. You really need to be able to let the other person have what they want. Both do whatever the other one wants. Sometimes, always willing. You get your own way, but you also have to give the other partner their way in. And communication is really important. There's a bunch of C words in this category, I
Yeah.
think.
But also to remind ourselves that we're a team. We're on the same team.
Yeah, we're absolutely a team. One is unwilling or unable to do something, then the other one does it. There's an expression we learned from I don't remember who, some motivational speaker probably a while back. A way to enhance a relationship is when you know something that would make your partner feel totally loved, to do that for your partner.
Mm.
And so we do that, and sometimes one will say, what would make me feel totally loved? And then, of course, the other one says, oh, what, dear? And then the one shares what would make them feel totally loved, and the other one goes, okay, I'll do that. And so then, you get what you want, and it can be something simple like, if you would just give me a cup of coffee, I would feel totally loved. So then, she'll get you a cup of coffee.
So, we do little things like that for each other.
Yes, yes. And we have Dr. Naomi Ruth Cobb saying hello to you both. They're everywhere often. And a happy early birthday.
Thanks.
And also compromise is so important.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for joining us. What's next for you creatively?
Well, we actually are currently, we have pieces in a number of shows that are currently running. Arts United show, it's about love, which is at Gallery 21 in Wilton Manors. That's actually coming down the end of this week. And there's Broward Art Guild has a Pride show that we're in for the month of June. And we're in the Thou Art Woman art show, which is currently at City Hall in Fort Lauderdale. So we do have stuff out there, and we're actually, besides the art we're creating, we're working with some groups. We're sponsoring a couple of play readings at Thinking Cap Theater, which is a wonderful, if you don't know about it, check it out, Thinking Cap Theater. Wonderful theater organization that's based in Dania Beach. And they do a lot of very woman-centered, LGBT-friendly um, content plays. And so it's very refreshing, very different.
We're also going to be doing something with Stonewall with the
Yes.
new women's.
There's going to be a women's event on July 29th that we're going to be on the host committee for. Stonewall Museum and Archives is going to be creating a specific women's archive. They want women to be equally represented in the archive, which is really wonderful.
So we're happy to be able to help with that.
Yeah, they're having a big kickoff event on July 29th. Nikki, I don't know if you have a link you can put up about that. It's a free event with a DJ and food and drink, and just to explain what's going to be happening with this new women's archive. So we're really excited about that. And other than that,
keep making more art.
Keep making art.
It feels so rewarding to make art. You know, it gives me such a deep sense of satisfaction when I make something that really pleases me, and I just hope that the same sense of satisfaction someone else can experience that by looking at the art.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Absolutely. I'm gonna see if I saw the link. I'm trying to see if I could pull it up.
Do you see what
lady
Angel?
Parts?
Huh?
I have to say, because we had this joke about lady parts, and I see Anthony made a comment, art looking like lady parts. That's one way.
I'm in this group where it's mostly older straight women, and yes, they speak about my art as, oh, Trish is doing another piece of lady parts. Yeah,
that's funny. And I have I saw a comment from Angel. Thank you guys for your contribution to the world. Life will be plain and monotonous without your eyes and mind of an artist. You guys add color and spark to a world of black and white.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. We have a question from Kaula. Do you have any regrets, small or major?
Oh, well, there are always regrets, but we don't focus on those.
I can't think of anything specific. I feel very fortunate.
We focus on the positive, and we're lucky to be where we are.
And we like to affirm that also.
Yes.
Nice. And then we have another comment from Christy. I'm enjoying your talk, Christina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I did. So if someone's trying to get in contact with either one of you, what's the best way to contact you?
Well, I think for me, it would be through my Instagram, because that's where I post my art specifically more than any place else. I don't really have a website.
Tell them your Instagram.
Well, it's at Jane Kreinberg. You could put it up there, Nikki.
Okay, and mine is at Trish Delish Art. So that's, as I was saying earlier, I came up with Trish Delish Art to be my Instagram handle. So.
And that's where we post, new pieces and shows that we're in and that kind of thing.
So I did put it in the comments, but I'm also adding it to the little feed so people could do that.
Good. And then you can direct message us through there also.
Sure. If anyone's interested in buying, it's all for sale. So
I hear that.
Yeah.
So this is so nice to have you both on here, and I know some of the work, but it's always nice every time you all talk about the work to find something new, discover something new. So I'm happy to have you all here and sharing that information, especially during the month of Pride.
Yeah. Well, we really thought it would be a nice time to do it with Pride, and And that's part of why we wanted to bring up some of the work from the Women's Graphics Collective, because it's all about lesbian pride. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, any final thoughts, final comments, words?
AJ
Um,
wants her head rubbed.
um, it was I really enjoyed talking to you about our art and sharing, and I hope everyone enjoyed it. And feel free to contact us.
Yes, and ditto what she said.
Yes, yes. So yes, so again, this the circle is brought to you by Niki Lopez Creative, which is a design organization, as well as What's Your Elephant, an organization that uses the arts to create a safe space to address everything unspoken. So if you want to find out a little bit more about the work, you can go to what'syourelephant.org or the link tree. And this will be if you enjoy this program, please consider sharing it. You could share. Oh, we have one more question. I'm just gonna. We were wrapping up, but I'll add the question. Angel said, "Have you guys collaborated on anything?"
Um, Officially, we did one piece together. Jane took a photo, and then I added some metal to it.
Mm.
But unofficially, we often ask each other's opinions. What do you think of this versus this?
And we give each other ideas. Yeah, I mean we collaborate some, not on the actual physical piece necessarily, but we bounce ideas back and forth a lot. So
Sometimes I'm a photographer's assistant helping her set up a shot.
yeah, and I like on the broken but not defeated piece, which was originally a clay mask. I suggested that she take a photo and print it on metal, which she
Oh,
did, and
yeah.
cut it out and mounted it on a black backing, and it came out really great.
It really, yeah. In some ways, I like it better than the original.
So those kinds of things. We share ideas with each other and
Yeah,
help each other with our art.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this has been a wonderful evening. I'm going to wrap up, and if there's any other comments, if people watch this on the replay, you could always put your comments, and we will get back to them. Thank you for everyone who's joining on live, the questions, the comments. Thank you, Jane and Trish, for being here, and I will see y'all next month.
Thank you, Nikki.
Okay,
We love
thanks,
doing it.
Nikki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Take care, everyone.
All right.
Bye, everyone. Jane.